Hello, this is the first video of a 4-part video series. I'm Paul Wood, anxiety hypnotherapist. I'm going to speak to you today. This isn't a negative perception. I want to give you that first of all. Now, the most asked question that I really ever get from people who suffer from anxiety is this: why? Why do I feel this way? Why? What's wrong with me? Why? What's going on with me? I completely appreciate that question. So in these 4 videos, what I'm going to do is give you the 4 main reasons that people never resolve permanently their anxiety. And what these 4 reasons will enable you to do will really enable you to really look within yourself and help to pinpoint the exact reason, the specific things that are causing you not to resolve your anxiety yet in your own life. So the first one is this. The first one is that people get caught in a pattern. Now, all I mean by that is they think a certain way about their anxiety. So if you experience anxiety for over a few months, or even very recently it's really caught on, but it's just very, very strong, or a few years, or a decade, or even more, what tends to happen is you've got a certain mindset about it. Now, for you not having resolved it yet, then that mindset's not going to be very empowering. And what that leads to is the mindset isn't very empowering, which really leads you on to what actions you're willing to take. Well, if I'm thinking in a negative way, if I'm thinking that it's challenging, it's difficult, it's not going to work out, it's very likely I'm not going to take many actions to really resolve it. And then what happens is, when I don't take many actions, how am I going to feel emotionally? I'm going to feel it's going to prove to me that my thoughts are right, that I really cannot do it, that I just feel frustrated, or I feel disappointed in myself. And what happens then? You feel frustrated, you feel disappointed, you feel disempowered. Now, how will that affect your mindset? Well, it's going to massively affect your mindset. You're going to be thinking along those terms. You're going to be thinking disempowering thoughts, frustrated thoughts, disappointing thoughts. You're going to be feeling sorry for yourself. You're going to be judging yourself harshly, or blaming other people, or blaming your past, or blaming your childhood. But you're not going to be thinking in empowering terms. And then where does that go? Straight back to your actions that you're willing to take, which are again going to be poor. And then it goes to our emotions again, which again don't really feel the way we want to feel, and to our thoughts. And it keeps going round and round and round and round like that for weeks, months, or years, to the point someone is exactly where they are today, where they're stuck in that pattern with really no understanding of how that's affecting them. Now, I completely appreciate that, because it's something where I've been there before myself. I've experienced anxiety for like 15 years of my life. Had a devastating effect in every single way, as it does for many people. And the problem is that I was blaming myself. I just thought it was me. I said it was me. It was just who I was as a person, which is completely and utterly ridiculous. It's not you. It's not me. Anxiety is something, it's something that affects many people, but it's something that you can deal with. It's something that you can resolve permanently. An important part of it is that. An important part is bringing awareness to this pattern that you keep on going round and round. Now, initially when I see people for the first couple of sessions, that's a really important part of my job, where I really help people by providing them with really unbiased feedback about your anxiety. So rather than seeing it, within the bubble, if that makes sense, you can really begin to see it from the outside in. And you really begin to look at it in a completely different way, and you begin to see the different things that really link together. You see the different actions that you need to take. You begin to see how your mindset, or the way you feel, or the way you think is affecting all these different things. Now, that might sound overwhelmingly complicated, but it really isn't, because firstly what I do is pinpoint one thing. So with every person it's a different thing, generally, and I pinpoint the one thing that will give you the biggest bang for your buck. The one thing, if you change that one thing, if you do that one thing, it will create the most leverage in your life and enable you to really break that anxiety as quickly as possible. And as you can guess, that makes it much, much easier for people, doesn't it? Because one of the biggest frustrations about going around in this pattern is that when you have an idea, when you feel, I'm going to go for something, the problem is you're in such a poor emotional state, your thinking isn't supporting you either, and the emotions you feel are not supporting you at all, because you feel anxious naturally. So anything you put into something is going to be challenging. So the real benefit of knowing the one thing to do is that you can commit to it, because you know it's the one thing that's guaranteed going to get you that success. And because I've worked with 7,000 people over 10 years, so I can promise you the thing that I ask you to do, or the thing that we speak about, or the one pattern that needs to be broken, whatever it is, it's a different thing for every person, like I said before, is something that you can invest in, is something you can commit in. And you'll know that it works, because straight away after week 1, most people feel much better after 1 week, regardless of how challenging or debilitating or frustrating or strong their anxiety is. So knowing that in yourself, I'd like you just to begin to think about those things. Just try and develop some awareness of rather than the way rather than being enveloped by the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling, and your mindset towards things, try and just take a step back and look at things from outside the bubble and really begin to see the patterns that you're following, because that's what they are, patterns. They're not you as a person. They're a pattern that's massively limiting the actions you can take in your life, the way you can feel, the way you can think. So that's what anxiety does, doesn't it? It keeps us in almost a prison. It keeps us in that box where there's many things that we want, there's many things we feel we'd enjoy in our life, but having that anxious mindset that causes us to feel anxious, feel disappointed, feel frustrated, feel disempowered, want to avoid things, avoid anything there's any uncertainty at all, massively, unbelievably limits our actions, what we're willing to do and what we're not willing to do. So the benefit of having someone to support someone moving forward in that direction is absolutely tremendous, isn't it? It's absolutely, the difference is phenomenal. On our own, it is a challenge. It's difficult. With that extra support, you know that the thing I tell you to do is the right thing for you. So knowing that, you can commit to it. Without it, there's a million different things. Type in anxiety cures on the internet. 100 million results. Now, nobody's got the time to search through 100 million different things, because what will happen is people will try 5, generally maybe 3. They'll try 5 things, feeling frustrated, their emotions won't be in sync with what they want. 5 things, they probably won't work on. It might be 5 things that guaranteed we're going to fail anyway, or there might be 5 things that just don't work for that person's specific condition that's limiting them. So knowing that, being able to pinpoint one thing is tremendously advantageous in your life. But thanks for listening to me today. I hope it's helped you. I hope it's helped you to really notice in yourself, realize in yourself, begin to believe in yourself that this is something that you can resolve permanently. Thousands of people have before. There's no reason why you cannot. There's no reason why you're any different to any of those people. The moment you begin to decide you can do this, you want to do this, this is something that you feel is right for you, then begin to become committed, and then you begin to take actions in your life that will move you forward. Thanks very much. Have a wonderful day.